Hello students, myself is Dr. Rima Sinha. Presently I am working as a associate professor in the Department of Pharmacy, Ramis Institute of Vocational and Technical Education, Greater Noida. Students, today I am going to give a lecture on the topic Introduction and Classification of Anti-Neoplastic Agent. This topic is a part of Unit 1 of medicinal chemistry subject whose code is BP 501T. In this lecture, I will discuss what is cancer, what is neoplasm, and what are the various types of cancer, what are the characteristics of cancer, and what are the treatment option available for cancer patient, and then what is antineoplastic agents, definition of antineoplastic agent, and the classification of antineoplastic agent on the basis of mechanism of action. Then I will give the structure of all antineoplastic drugs which is mentioned in your AK2 syllabus of medicinal chemistry 2. So, first I will start the introduction part. This includes what is neoplasm. Neoplasm क्या है? Neoplasm is nothing, it is a medical term of cancer. Cancer is neoplasm. Anti-cancer is anti-neoplastic. These are the similar meaning word. Okay. So, what is neoplasm? Medical term of cancer is known as neoplasm. Neoplasm, this is a Greek word. If you divide this neoplasm into two parts, that is neo means neo, plasm means formation. This meaning itself indicates formation of new cell. So, now you can define what is cancer. Cancer is abnormal, uncontrolled growth of cell. So, finally, we can define cancer is a disease characterized by uncontrollable, irreversible, independent, autonomous, uncoordinated and relatively unlimited and abnormal overgrowth of tissue. So, in short you can say cancer is abnormal, uncontrolled, uncoordinated growth of cell. This is characterized by formation of tumor. Then what sometime cancer cell themselves differentiate from tumor, and it is carried out by lymphatic system where they reach to distant site where they divide and form secondary tumors, and that is known as metastasis. So, it is cancer is spread by invasion to the surrounding tissue and by metastasis to distant sites. So, now you can understand what is the meaning of cancer. कैंसर क्या है? कैंसर एबनॉर्मल अनकंट्रोल ग्रोथ ऑफ सेल है जो प्राइमरी स्टेज में ट्यूमर फॉर्म करता है, उसके बाद ये थ्रू लिम्फेटिक सिस्टम के द्वारा डिस्टेंट साइट में जाकर वहाँ पर ये सेकेंडरी ट्यूमर फॉर्म करता है. इस पर आपका कोई कंट्रोल नहीं है और ये बॉडी के नॉर्मल मैकेनिज्म पाथ पर भी कोई इफेक्ट नहीं डालता है. सो दिस इज योर कैंसर. Now, what are the various types of cancer? See, there are 4 types of cancer I have mentioned. One is your carcinoma, other one is your sarcoma, and third is your gliomas, fourth is your lymphomas. What is carcinoma? Carcinoma, it is related to skin, epithelial tissue. It arises from epithelial tissue. It includes skin and most of soft organ. And second is your sarcoma. Sarcoma is the cancer of bones, cartilage and muscles. Third one is your gliomas. Gliomas, it is a cancer of brain. It is related to central nervous system. Next is your lymphomas. It arises from lymphatic system. Now, what are the characteristics of cancer cell? You know, cancer involves the development and reproduction of abnormal cells. Cancer cells are usually non-functional. Cancer cell growth is not subject to normal body control mechanism. Cancer cells eventually metastasize to other organs via the circulatory and lymphatic system. These are the main characteristics of cancer cell. What are the treatment options available for cancer patient? One is your surgery to remove solid tumors. Another is radiation to kill cancer cells that have spread to adjacent local or regional tissues. Then chemotherapy. Chemotherapy generally it is used to kill cancer cell located throughout the body. It is generally used in pre-operative stage also. Then anti-neoplastic drug, which cannot differentiate between the normal and cancer cell, and mostly all anti-neoplastic drugs are cytotoxic. They have tremendous major adverse effect on the patient. There is so many environmental reason which causes cancer. So, you see here impact of environmental carcinogens, you see 80 to 90% of all cancer may be related to environmental agent, including diet, lifestyle and viruses. Sometimes people are taking smoking, drinking, they may one of the reason to cause cancer. There is several environmental agents often acts together co-carcinogenesis. Sometimes if we were exposed with coal tar, mustard gas or some chemical factory, this may also cause cancer. Sometimes hereditary factor is also involved in causing cancer. What is anti-neoplastic agent? एंटी एजेंट क्या है? सो अब तक हम लोग ने देखा व्हाट इज नियोप्लाज्म. नियोप्लाज्म क्या है? दैट इज योर कैंसर. सो नाउ व्हाट इज एंटी नियोप्लास्टिक ड्रग्स? एंटी नियोप्लास्टिक ड्रग्स आर द ड्रग्स or you can say agent which is used for the treatment of cancer, or you can say neoplasm, malignancy, tumor, carcinoma, sarcoma or leukemia. So, anti-neoplastic agents are the drugs which are used for the treatment of cancer, you can say in short word. There are various classification of anti-neoplastic agents. These classification, before moving to classification, this classification is based on the mechanism of action of the anti-neoplastic drug. So, this is basically based on the cell cycle. So, just you see cell cycle, this is your S phase, then G2 phase, and this is your M phase and this is your G1 phase. There are 4 phases, one is your S phase, another your G2 phase, third your M phase and fourth is G1 phase, one more is G0 phase. Each cell is divided into 2 daughter same identical cell having same genetic material, and they will further either they will enter to G1 phase or they will go to G0 phase. So, S phase is basically here DNA synthesis will take place. This is the phase of DNA synthesis. In human tumor it is lasts for 10 to 20 hours. And G2 phase is basically pre-meiotic cell division phase, it lasts for 3 to 4 hours. Here cell is ready for mitosis. This is M phase, here cell is divided into 2 daughter cell. In a mitosis phase it involves chromosomal condensation, spindle formation and cell division. This is over 3 to 4 hours. After that, daughter cell will either go to G1 phase for further cell division or you go to G0 phase for deproliferation phase. So, these are the cell cycle phase. So, on the basis of these anti-cancer drugs are classified into alkylating agent, anti-metabolite agent, antibiotics, plant products, hormones, enzyme, immunotherapy and last one is your miscellaneous. You see these are classification is mentioned here, alkylating agent, anti-metabolites, antibiotics, plant products, hormones, enzymes, immunotherapy and last one is your miscellaneous. So, but in your syllabus BP 501T only these 4 classification is mentioned. One is your alkylating agent, antimetabolites, antibiotics and plant products. So, we will discuss 4 drugs in 4 classification in detail. Alkylating agent is further sub classified into another category like nitrogen mustard, alkyl sulfonate, nitrosourea, ethylenamine and triazine. These drugs is act by alkylation process. Okay. Next classification is anti-metabolites. Second classification is anti-metabolites. Anti-metabolites here you see it is further sub classified into 3 category. One is your purine antagonist, another one is your pyrimidine antagonist and third one is your folic acid antagonist. Basically you know what is metabolite. Metabolites are the substances which take part in the cellular metabolism. So, those agents are known as metabolites. Antimetabolites, that means those agents which antagonize the function of metabolites. So, simple modification of purine pyrimidine base, yeah, you can say folic acid structure, simple modification you can do and you can derive anti-metabolites drugs. So, like you know DNA, what is DNA? It is helical structure, okay, and it contains base purine and pyrimidine base like thiamine, guanine, cytosine, adenine, these are the base pair available in DNA structure. So, if you just compare this structure and you can minor changes that will drive anti-metabolites. So, here anti-metabolites role is very important as anti-neoplastic agents. Third classification will be your antibiotics. There are so many antibiotics which is used in anti-neoplastic agent, but in your syllabus dactinomycin, bleomycin and donorubicin, these three drugs are mentioned. So, we will give the structure of these drugs, mechanism of these drugs, and the last one is your plant product. As per your syllabus, plant products, there are some plant products which is derived from plants. They are also act as a anti-neoplastic agent, like vinca alkaloid is a plant, and if you isolate the alkaloid, the drug is vincristine, vinblastine, vinblastine which acts as a anti-neoplastic agents. So, these are the major 4 category as per your syllabus. You have to read these 4 classification with example and structure. So, let us move alkylating agent. First classification, that is your alkylating agent. This is your first classification of anti-neoplastic agent. Alkylating agent further subclassified into nitrogen mustard. Example is your meclorethamine. You see the structure of meclorethamine here, N methyl group, and this is CS2 chloride, that is ethyl chloride, and both side ethyl chloride, diethyl chloride and methyl diethyl chloride. So, this is containing alkyl group. So, generally all alkylating agents, how they act under physiological condition, they will liberate carbonium ion, generate carbonium ion, and this carbonium ion will combine with highly nucleophile density, that is your nucleophile of, that is your DNA. So, what are the target area where this agent will act, that is your N7 of guanine. So, just you see first structure, this is a meclorethamine and this is your cyclophosphamide. Here also you see N ethyl chloride, same similarity there, only difference is this is your cyclic structure. Then you see alkyl sulfonate, these act through SN2 mechanism. Here you see there is 2 functional group, bifunctional group is there. Here you see SO2 CH3 group. Then in nitrosourea, this is your carmustine. Here see the structure. Next sub classification is ethylenamine, very important drug, that is your thiotepa. You see the structure, phosphorus in central, and this is surrounded by as a 3 azodine ring, cyclic structure. This is known as azodine ring, and this is attached with phosphorus than with sulfur. This is the thiotepa. And last classification of alkylating agent, that is your triazine, that example is D-carbazine. You see the structure of D-carbazine here. Here you find one heterocyclic ring is there. You see this is structure. This is imidazole ring is there. Here imidazole ring 1 nitrogen, 1 and 3 nitrogen with 5 member ring. So, imidazole ring is there. So, heterocyclic containing group, example is D-carbazine. How this alkylating agent is work? These alkylating agents, you just see the alkyl group is there. Generally what happen? Just I am giving general description. Suppose this is your any alkylating agent. Okay. So, when under physiological condition, these drugs generate carbonium ion, that is your R plus. Okay. Alkylating agent work by 2 mechanism, either it will work by SN1 or SN2. SN1 is substitution nucleophilic 1 unimolecular, SN2 is substitution nucleophilic biomolecular. That I will discuss in your next lecture, when I will discuss detailed mechanism of alkylating agent. So, just briefing out here. So, this R plus carbonium ion will react with nucleophile, this nucleophile of what? DNA, and it will make a complex this carbonium ion will react with nucleophile part of the DNA, that is your N7 of guanine, which is target area for attacking alkylating agent. So, then it forms a complex. Now, this complex will change the property of DNA, it make a complex, it may be result of cross linkage, it may be result of cross linking, mismatch base pairing. So, that will lead to stop the DNA synthesis, or in this way it will block the further cell division. Next classification is antimetabolites. So, what is the main role of antimetabolites? Antimetabolites inhibit a metabolic pathway which is essential for the survival or reproduction of cancer cell through the inhibition of folate, pyrimidine and purine nucleoside pathways, which is required for DNA synthesis. So, a number of useful chemotherapeutic agents have been produced by simple modification to the structure of normal purine and pyrimidine base. Just to see here one example, that is your purine antagonist. You see the example here, mercaptopurine. This is the 6 mercaptopurine, and another example of purine antagonist is azathioprine. Another example is thioguanine. If you compare this structure, you will find this is common analog of purine base. That if you compare with guanine, you see structure here, you compare, just find out the difference. Here you see in thioguanine only sulfur is there, okay, and here amino group is there. If you compare with mercaptopurine, here mercapto group is there, no amino group is there. But if we compare with azathioprine, you see these are the these two structures are nearly same, only difference in here this H is removed and this substituent is here, that is your imidazole, nitroimidazole and methyl. So, you can say N methyl nitroimidazole ring is attached here. So, this is azathioprine and this is your thioguanine and this is your mercaptopurine. If you when DNA synthesize, there is a naturally occurring intermediate generate, that is your hypoxanthine. If you compare the structure of hypoxanthine, so here there is oxygen, but and the rest structure is same. So, what mercaptopurine is do? It replaces the hypoxanthine. During DNA synthesis, there is naturally occurring intermediate which is known as hypoxanthine, and mercaptopurine, due to competitive inhibitor and structural analog, it replaces the hypoxanthine and it works as a antimetabolites. So, if we see in this way, antimetabolites are working. Take another example like folic acid antagonist. If you see the structure of methotrexate, or if you compare with the folic acid, you see here you see the structure of methotrexate, you see This is here is OH is there and here H is there. This is the structure of methotrexate. But when we compare with folic acid, in folic acid structure you will find here methyl group, and here you will find amino group. These are in folic acid structure. Okay. In place of this, in place of this and in place of this. So, if we see the structure of methotrexate and folic acid, they are structure analog. So, due to competitive inhibitor, it antagonize the function of folic acid. So, in this way methotrexate it works. So, anti-metabolites simply changing in structure of metabolites, you can derive anti-metabolite drug and it will antagonize the function of metabolites. Just to see, compare the folic acid and methotrexate. Okay. So, methotrexate is a folate derivative that inhibits several enzymes responsible for nucleotide synthesis. These inhibition lead to suppression of inflammation as well as prevention of cell division. This drug methotrexate also used in rheumatoid arthritis because it reduces the inflammation. So, this is very important drug. It is used in anti-neoplastic agent. It is a folic acid antagonist. It stop the DNA synthesis. You know folic acid. Here just I am briefing. Folic acid is required for the synthesis of dihydrofolic acid and this is required for the tetrahydrofolic acid, and this tetrahydrofolic acid, these coenzyme are required for the DNA synthesis. This is the general path, metabolic path. Okay. So, this is the general path, folic acid to dihydrofolic acid, then tetrahydrofolic acid, and then tetrahydrofolic acid is vital for the synthesis of DNA. So, what methotrexate will do? Methotrexate will inhibit the enzyme that is known dihydrofolate reductase. It inhibits the dihydrofolate reductase. So, the tetrahydrofolic acid will not form, and this way DNA synthesis of DNA will not take place. So, in this way it inhibits the cell, cancer cell. Next is antibiotics. You see the structure of antibiotic. This is the dactinomycin structure, a compound composed of two cyclic peptide. You see this is the cyclic peptide, cyclic ring is there, and this is your sequence of amino acids is there like cysteine, threonine, leucine. These are the sequence of amino acid, and this part is phenoxyazine ring. This part is very important because this phenoxyazine part will be intercalate between the DNA base pair and it change the property of DNA base pair and lead to mismatching. So, that the synthesis of DNA will stop. So, this is the structure of dactinomycin. If we change any modification in this structure, you will find the compound will be inactive. So, this is the very important drug dactinomycin. Another you see danrubicin, you see the structure of danrubicin, and another antibiotic that is the doxorubicin. The structure are nearly about to similar, only difference just to note here, you see here CH2OH and here CH3. Okay. This is the difference in daunorubicin and doxorubicin, and rest of the structure is similar. So, when you remembering this structure, just to notice where is the minor difference. Minor difference, here you will find methyl group and here you will find CH2OH. Okay. So, these are the drugs which act through intercalation process. Another one is antibiotic in your syllabus, that is your bleomycin. Bleomycin, you see the structure, this is very elongated structure, but mechanism is simple. It forms when it comes in contact with DNA. So, it forms a complex which simply cut the DNA strand, just like a seizure simply cut the DNA strand. Next last classification is your plant alkaloid. Plant alkaloid means, just to see here, two example is there, vinblastine and vincristine. You see the structure here and you will find R is there. If R is methyl group, then your vinblastine. If R is aldehyde, then is your vincristine. Okay. So, now this is the etoposide, this is also your plant alkaloid. Now, last is your miscellaneous, this is a structure of cisplatin and this is the structure of metotine. So, this is all about your syllabus in the drug which is mentioned in your syllabus. All the structure I have given here and I have discussed the basic concept of structure and basic mechanism, and detailed mechanism I will discuss in next lecture. So, students, thank you.